of course, I'm sure you were already heard.
Bakit kayo sinisisi rito sa impeachment?
Nagulat nga ako sa lahat ba naman ng tao, bakit ako ang nasisi, no? Ang unang-una, ang akusasyon na ito ni Congressman Pulong Duterte ay medyo malisyoso, no? At I believe, siguro hindi naman sa kanya yung personal yung malisya, pero ang nakakapagtaka lang dito is yung unang tanong ko, sino ang nagbigay sa kanya ng maling informasyon? Dapat ipatawag niya yan, pangalanan niya, and ask him or her a proof. Pangalawa,
yes,
it's a reflection of his office. Kasi kung ganyan na napaka-basic na information ay magpapaniwala ka na ang statement yata doon ay ako daw ang nag-gather ng signatures at parang ayan, I'm just reviewing his statement. It says sorry, hindi ko pala yung statement niya is actually saying na he's enraged by the sinister maneuvering, no? So, unang-una, ang katanungan ko, sino ang nag-report sa kanya ng maling report? Because more than 100 congressmen were there in that consultation. I was not even one of those who stood up. Nagtanong lang ako dun sa mga kasamahan ko na ano ba ang mangyayari kasi patapos na ang Kongreso, ang Senado ba ay patuloy ito na pakikinggan. Moreover, ako I'm not bothered by the accusation because it's fake news, no? I am much more bothered by the way that Congressman Duterte is vetting the information that goes through their office, no? Malaking kuryente ito sa kanyang opisina at sa kanyang pagkatao.
Okay.
So yan lang talaga, yes, na kuryente siya.
Ma'am, we understand, ma'am. Ma'am, pero ito mo, we presume you are a signatory na rin. Is that correct? Are you a signatory to this complaint?
Yes,
and I
signed, yes, and all of the congressmen from Iloilo signed.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I just wanted to put that on on the table muna kasi if you signed it, then I suppose you're familiar as to who made the impeachment complaint, this fourth impeachment complaint. Sino po ang nagsampa nitong reklamong ito? Kasi we have no idea kung sino po yung nag-draft ng impeachment complaint na ito.
Ito po ang nanggaling sa, ang pakaintindi ko merong mga profesor, no, at mga abogadong ando dun kanina. No, yun ang pagkaintindi ko. And basically, I was more interested on the content ng kanilang impeachment complaint. At binigyan nga kami at napag-usapan na. There was actually, dalawa po ang naging focus. No, sa amin kami yung mga katabi ko sa table na nag-uusap-usap. Yung una nga, itong paulit-ulit na napag-uusapan na confidential funds. Because whatever we say, kitang-kita naman talaga na walang attachments, no? walang liquidation. Hindi natin alam saan napunta. Naglaho na parang bula, no? Yung 612.5 million. And that alone, I do respect the Duterte family. However, it's my constitutional duty to act on it. Kasi kung hindi ako pipirma at hindi ako mag-endorse, parang sinabi ko na rin na okay lang na gamitin mo ang pondo ng gobyerno maski hindi alam ng taong bayan kung saan mo dinadala.
Congresswoman, as you said, there were two caucuses.
Congarin,
aside doon?
Congarin,
sino yung nag-preside doon sa dalawang caucus?
Ano pa yung ibang components nung pinirmahan nyo? Ano pa yung ibang laman nung pinirmahan nyo na impeachment complaint? Aside dun sa nabanggit nyo na confidential funds.
Ito ang nakasaad doon. Yung unang-una kasi, yung kanyang publicly coming out and admitting that she contracted an assassin to plot the murder of the President, the First Lady, and the Speaker. At pangalawa nga, yung nangyaring, yung sa confidential funds. And sa naaalala ko rin, andun din kasi yung, remember the DepEd officials admitted that they were receiving like a payola-like system, no? Yung may regular envelope dun sa mga miyembro ng BAC, yung ibang mga undersecretaries, I believe, at the directors. And there was also mention of her SALN. So yun, I did not dwell much on that. And yung iba, of course, meron dun yung ibang mga kasamahan namin, especially those who were very active in the Quadcom, who were discussing the EJ case, no? Yung pagkadawit niya sa extrajudicial killings. And of course, yung iba, they also find it na betrayal of public trust. Yung sumasama ka sa mga rallies, publicly attacking and urging the resignation of the president. Andun nga yung, if you remember, meron siyang mga statements na yung decapitate o pugutan ng ulo ang presidente. And medyo, ano yan, hindi ka tanggap-tanggap yan bilang presidente. And but what was very glaring among the members and our colleagues was her urging the COA, the Commission on Audit, not to comply with the subpoena issued by Congress. So, yun po ang mga naalala ko doon sa nakasaad sa impeachment.
Okay. May tanong po si Ami. Ami, your question again.
Yes.
Ami, your question again. Ami. Ami, nakamute ka ata. Okay. Nawala ang audio ni Ami. Ma'am,
narinig ko kanina yung tanong kasi is sino daw yung nag-spearhead, nagsalita. Okay, so I believe, kasi late ako I was 30 minutes late because I had other meetings to attend to. So yung una kasing napag-usapan doon, I mean, ang tumayo una doon, of course, is yung ating majority leader at si Honorable Manix Dalipi, who actually stated the fact na meron ng 3 at ito may pang-4 na impeachment complaint. Hindi naman natin pwedeng baliwalain yan because it's our constitutional duty to act on it. So, ano ba ang dapat at ilang hearings na? And one of the Deputy Speakers, Deputy Speaker J.J. Suarez, discussed yun ang mga findings at ito ang isang panibagong impeachment complaint at binigyan ng copy yung lahat ng humihingi. Kasi yung iba may copy na yata. Like, yung iba humingi ulit. Like ako, humingi ako, ilang pa kami humingi. And then, the other people who stood up, marami na yung mga tumayo eh. And Congressman Villasuerte also. These are already the party leaders. Kami kasi mga ordinaryong membre lang kami ng partido. And then sumunod dumating na yung, I believe, NPC came, members of the Nationalista Party came, tapos dumating yung mga party list.
Yes, ma'am.
Ganun ang nangyari. Lumabas na yung iba, dumating yung iba.
Ma'am, I understand kanina, sabi niyo kasi kanina that you raised the question as to kung magtutuloy-tuloy ba ito sa Senado, gayong number 1, election season, number 2, baka mag-20th Congress. Paano po nasagot yung inyong tanong, yung inyong concern?
Well, it was, during that time, hindi pa kasi alam kung ilan ang pipirma. At doon nga, medyo nagtayuan na, medyo marami na, and then nakita na talagang meron ka lang, sobra ka na sa 1/3. And from 100 congressmen, it became more than 100 until it reached 200 at meron pa mga ibang nagdatingan. In other words, the direction of where it was heading is kitang-kita na kailangan tanggapin ng Senado at pag-usapan.
Yes, ma'am.
It's up, the ball is now in the hands of the Senate.
Pero napag-usapan ho ba paanong solusyon dyan? Kasi medyo late na ng konti. At yun nga, sa 11, simula na ng kampanya para sa nationals.
Napag-usapan po yan, no? Kasi yung iba nga ang sabi nila is they will be on the campaign trail. However, marami rin, kasi mahirap rin kasi hindi mo gawin ang iyong obligasyon bilang senador o kongresista kasi ikaw ay mangangampanya because it's still part of your job. You just have to balance, no, yung iyong oras at panahon. And I believe that Senate will act on it because they have to.
Congresswoman, ano pong oras kaya, would you know? Kung anong oras nag-umpisa yung signature gathering?
I think lunchtime.
Lunchtime ngayong araw lang?
Oo. Kasi yung iba-iba kasi yung kanya-kanyang partido ang meeting eh. I mean, I was with Partido Lakas. So, I am not sure. Kasi yung iba, kanya-kanyang meeting. No? Yung iba, they started their meeting at 11. We started our meeting at 10. Yung iba, meron yata silang, they started their meeting noontime, no lunchtime.
What about si Speaker? Meron ba siyang active ba siya na hands-on ba siya dun sa pagsusupervise kung ano nangyayari?
Hindi po. He actually came late, no? Of course, isa nga doon sa present is Congressman Sandro Marcos. So, he was also there as a member of Partido Federal, as the one leading Partido Federal. So, the speaker came, I believe, parang halfway ba yun? Tapos yun, he was listening to what other members of Congress were saying, and people were actually discussing na ano bang gagawin natin dito. Tatlo, pag-apat na itong impeachment, talaga namang upuan natin ito. Hindi naman ito pwedeng hindi natin tanggapin because this is our constitutional duty. And yung iba nga, ando dun nga yung hindi ba nakakahiya kasi kaibigan, ganyan. But then the consensus of the majority was, while we still have mutual respect, no, to the Duterte family, ang talaga namang boss natin ay ang sambayan ng Pilipino. So again, we have to go to the merits of the impeachment complaint, which was very clear naman, klarong-klaro naman sa lahat.
Okay. Okay. Maraming salamat, ma'am. Congresswoman Janet Garin ng Iloilo.